Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs series. Today we will discuss about 13th May current affairs. Myself Sunny Sandeep. Welcome to my channel Gear Up for Group 1 exam. Let us discuss the current affairs. The first one, PM announces 20 lakh crore economic stimulus package. Due to COVID-19, we have seen that almost up to now 75,000 cases are recorded in India at now. For that, yesterday PM Modi came to live. In that meeting, he given hint about the 20 lakh crore economic stimulus package. Last week, some economists and experts asking for that at least 10% of GDP should be there. Then only we will recover from this COVID-19 pandemic. That's why there is a suggestion from CII also, that is Confederation of Indian Industry. This is a good move by our Prime Minister Modi ji. Why? Because in this situation, in this COVID-19 situation, economic stimulus package is required. Last month we have seen that under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, 1.75 lakh crore given. This 20 lakh crore also under this Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. In the 20 lakh crore, 1.75 lakh crore also included. Here we have to see we have to give the importance to lives and at the same time livelihood also. Here in press meet, he said that clearly defined a leap towards the economic reforms that will, in his words, lead to Atmanirbhar Bharat or a self-reliant, resilient India. Last month we have seen that there is a fault in test kits that are imported from China. Due to that imports, our efficiency will downgrade. From that we have to learn from that lesson, from that one. We have to lessons from that one. We have to manufacture from itself in India only. That means locally only. When the first case is recorded in India, we are not manufacturing any N95 masks or any PPE kits, that is personal protective equipment. But now we are manufacturing almost 2 lakh N95 masks and 2 lakh PPE kits also per day. That's why here Modi ji insisting that we have been hearing for many years that the 21st century will be the India's century. And this crisis is, I believe that it carries a message that we have to move forward not just to combat the crisis but to prevail. That can happen when we are self-resilient or resilient India only. Here local production helped us in this crisis. I have given a previous one example, that is PPE and masks. Here, and when we look at the several global brands, they began as a local but were marketed and raised to a global level. In this situation we have to learn that we have to do the same with our produce, and we need to be vocal about local. Here he said one word, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. In that he is giving 20 lakh crore economic stimulus package, that is almost 10% of our GDP. He said that new edifice of this self-reliant India would be based on the 5 pillars of economy. 5 pillars of the economy: infrastructure, demography, technologically driven systems, and to strengthen demand and supply chains, with the supply chains being based on the local sourcing. It is like a Swadeshi movement. If you give more importance to the local, here Modi is not telling about don't use other products also, but he is telling we should more stress on that local production. Then only we will combat against this COVID-19, or else we can fight against this COVID-19. Next one, Italy, India and a common thread in partnership. Why? Because May 4 is a date that unites Italy and India in the current COVID-19 scenario. If you observe these two countries, India and Italy, there is a one date, that is May 4th. It is the day when both countries courageously decided to strike the fine balance between the need to restore industrial activities and supply chains and the duty to continue to the protecting their citizens from the spread of the novel coronavirus. Previously, I have said that there should be a fine balance between lives and livelihoods. Then only we will fight against this COVID-19. Suppose I am giving more importance to the lives, then there is no economy boost up. If economy is there means life should be there. If I suppose I give a more importance to the livelihoods, that means economy. That if economy is increasing, if there is no people who will boost the economy. That's why we have to strike the balance between these two, lives and livelihoods. Here if you see that there is an important platform, that is G20. Italy and India will have an extraordinary chance to closely cooperate in the next months, since they will be holding the consecutive presidencies, Italy in 2021 and India in 2022 of the G20, one of the world's main fora for the global governance. In this situation, if you fight against this COVID-19 successfully, we may draw our attention in G20 forum. Our intentions, our suggestions will be noted in the G20 forum when we fight against this COVID-19 successfully. For that, here these two countries should maintain in a nutshell, at both bilateral and multilateral levels, our dialogue will be based on the main trends of the innovation and sustainability. Here we have to see the two important things. The first one, innovation and sustainability. The first one, innovation, and second one, sustainability. What is the meaning of innovation? Innovation, because this crisis has transformed the urge to develop to new ideas, methods, processes and devices to the new normal. Previously we are using a normal things. Here we have to see the new normal. Why? Because if you last week we have seen that virtual courts. We have seen also work from home situation. Like that, new normal should become. Here on another hand, sustainability, because paraphrasing a popular saying is there. We did not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrowed it from our children. Once again I will read. Why? Because very important statement or any important saying, we have to learn from this one. We did not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrowed it from our children. What is this meaning? Suppose if I protect earth from here, my children will be in good stage only, they will use in future. If I destroyed earth, that may cause us to our children also. That's why it is not inherited from our ancestors, it is borrowed from our children. Next one, here there is a Global Nutrition Report 2020. In this, India may miss nutrition targets. Global Nutrition Report 2020 says that it has the highest rates of inequalities in malnutrition. In India, there is a important, that is most drawback is that malnutrition. India is among 88 countries that are likely to miss the global nutrition targets by 2025. According to the Global Nutrition Report 2020, yesterday released. Here, India is identified as among the 3 worst countries. They are along with the Nigeria and Indonesia for steep within countries disparities and stunting, where the levels varied fourfold across communities. Here, there is importance for that. What are the targets given by the global nutrition targets by 2025? Here we have to see that stunting. What is the meaning of stunting? There is no proper growing in a person. He is unable to grow that one. That is meaning of stunting. Target is 40% reduction in the number of children under 5 who are stunted. That means who are not unable to grow. That in their immune system or in their body there is no proper growing. Next one, anemia. Target 50% reduction of anemia in women reproductive age. Anemia means there is a lack of blood, there is a lack of iron due to pregnancy or due to the giving birth to the child. women's lack of blood. That's why if you we have to increase blood cells by eating some good food. That's why target is 50% reduction of anemia in women reproductive system. Here low birth weight. When women are given a birth to the baby, they born like a low birth weight. That's why we have to, our target is 30% reduction in low birth weight. Here child overweight. We have seen that some cases the born baby with overweight. That's why we have to target no increasing the childhood overweight. Here breastfeeding, another target. Fifth one, increase the rate of exclusive breastfeeding in the first 6 months up to at least 50%. In Indian women are accustomed to give the milk of buffaloes. Here a target is at least for 6 months we have to give breastfeeding for a healthy baby. Then only they will grow in a healthier. Next one, wasting. Reduce the and maintain the childhood wasting to less than 5%. What is the meaning of wasting? If I have a ham in that there is no proper growing on that stage, that is in a weaker stage, in that no motion or nothing action in that there, that is the meaning of wasting. Here there are 6 targets are given. The first one, stunting, anemia, low birth weight, childhood overweight and breastfeeding and wasting. Here in these targets India may miss the nutrition targets, that is targets by 2025. Next one, whether do numbers really matter in Rajya Sabha? Why? Because there is a difference between Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. First we will discuss about what is the difference between Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. In the terms of members, there is a 545 members in Lok Sabha and 245 members in Rajya Sabha. In Lok Sabha 545, in Rajya Sabha 245. Time tenure is for Lok Sabha 5 years and Rajya Sabha is 6 years. Whereas Lok Sabha is a temporary one up to no dissolution, whereas Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Here we have to see some legislation. The money bill or finance bills can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha, which only can approve the demands for grants. Here money bill and finance bills, there should be only we have to introduce in Lok Sabha, not in Rajya Sabha. On the other hand, the Rajya Sabha has some special powers as requiring to adopt a resolution allowing Parliament to legislature on subjects in the state list, creating all India services, besides approving proclamation of emergency and president's rules when the Lok Sabha is dissolved. I have previously told that when Lok Sabha is dissolved, there comes into the picture of Rajya Sabha. Here there is a lockdown, there is a situation between these two, Rajya Sabha lockdown. So far Parliament held only 3 joint sittings between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to resolve differences between the both houses. There are 3 cases. The first instance was in 1961 when the Nehru government enjoyed a majority in the Rajya Sabha, but the dowry prohibition bill 1959 suffered a defeat. That's why there is a joint sitting. In 1978, the Banking Service Commission repeal bill 1977 was rejected by the Rajya Sabha. In 2002 also, the Prevention of Terrorism bill 2002 could not pass the Rajya Sabha scrutiny. That's why these are the 3 joint sittings between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Here if you see the present government, NDA government, that government has the majority. In that occasion passing landmark legislation relating to the GST, insolvency bankruptcy code, triple talaq, unlawful activities, reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir, citizenship amendment and so on. Here from finally what we have to conclude between these 2 sabhas, partnership between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has been guided by cooperation despite their divergent composition. This article is written by Vice Chairman of Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu ji. Next one, defense think tank renamed unilaterally. We know that there is a prominent defense minister Manohar Parrikar is there. Last year he died. Due to remembrance that present NDA government changed the name of Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis, that is IDSA. Like that, MP IDSA, Manohar Parrikar Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. Here there is a 165th edition of the Executive Council of MP IDSA met on May 8th in meeting chaired by Mr. Rajnath Singh. Here in this meeting, due process was not followed while changing the name of the Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. Leading the members of premier think tank have told the government during the high level meeting. There also one concern, those who attend the meeting of the EC told the Hindu that they respect the contribution of the late defense minister Manohar Parrikar to the country's security, but maintained the attaching the Mr. Parrikar's name to IDSA politicizes a defense related institute and sets a precedent that they do not approve of. Here we have to respect our previous defense minister Manohar Parrikar ji. At the same time, we have to strengthen our IDSA. Then only we will move forward in this situation. Here it's not about the individual but the whole remaining itself. Next one, there is a GI tag, that is geographical indication tag. For Soharai cover painting in Jharkhand and Telia Rumal in Telangana. The first one is Soharai cover painting and second one is Telia Rumal. Jharkhand's Soharai cover painting and Telangana's Telia Rumal were given the geographical indication tag on Tuesday by the Geographical Indications Registry headquartered in Chennai. Very important. GI tags are very important. Last week we have seen that Kashmir saffron got GI tag, Chakota Pameola in Karnataka got GI tag, some are in Uttar Pradesh, some are black rice in Manipur. These types of GI tags last month we have discussed. If you have not seen it, please go through my videos and see that videos. Next one, I promised to make a previous paper analysis, that is UPSC Prelims 2019. Which of the following is issued by registered foreign portfolio investors to overseas investors who want to be a part of the Indian stock market without registering themselves directly? Once again I will read it. Why? Because in attempting the any competitive exams, understanding the question is very important. If you understand the question, that is almost solving the 40% or 50% of the question. Then only we have to read that's why we have to read the question carefully. Which of the following is issued by the registered foreign portfolio investors to overseas investors who want to be a part of the Indian stock market without registering themselves directly? We know that if you want to any foreign investors to invest in Indian government, they should be registered from our SEBI, that is Securities Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI. Here which of the following is issued by the registered foreign portfolio investors? Here options are given here: certificate of deposits, next one commercial paper, third one promissory note, participatory note. Here what is the meaning? First I will discuss about these 3-4 meanings, then only after that I will tell the answer. Why? Because already exam is over. By knowing answer is not sufficient for our preparation, but we have to see the 4 options, then only we will prepare or we can crack our next exam. Certificate of deposit. What is this meaning? There is a certificate, in that there should be some amount, for that there should be a fixed interest for fixed term. It is like a bank deposit. That is a certificate of deposit. Certificate of deposit is like for a fixed term, for a fixed rate of interest, for a sum of amount. That is a certificate of deposit. What is the meaning of commercial paper? It is a short term unsecured bonds given by the companies. It is a short-term unsecured bonds given by the companies. Here, promissory note comprises three parties. Suppose I have borrowed a 500 rupees from my friend, some X. I have to give a promissory note like this. I have borrowed some amount, that is some 1000 rupees from X. After some time, I will pay with interest to that X or a bearer. In that situation, there should be three important things. The first one, maker and some amount and bearer are who are taking the money. This is a promissory note. Here, next one, here participatory note. It is like if suppose I want to don't register with this SEBI, then I will go with the participatory note. Then I will get the foreign portfolio investors to overseas investors who want to be a part of Indian stock market without registering themselves directly from the SEBI. With this, we can conclude our video. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to my channel Gear Up for Group 1 exam. This is Sunny Sandeep signing off. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.